Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have a story to share with you out of Wisconsin. So it says Joseph Jakubowski. I don't know how to say his name. There's a manhunt out for him. He sent a very large manifesto to Donald Trump, and he was captured. So yay. He's one of those white supremacist terrorists that I talked to you guys about. I'm going to play this little video right here, and then we will talk about the rest of the story.
Police say burglarized a Wisconsin gun store and shipped
Or not.
a 161-page manifesto to President Trump. Trump has been on the run for nearly a week. 32-year-old Joseph Jakubowski is suspected of stealing
So it's doing the most.
more than a dozen firearms from a local gun store.
It's so weird because I literally just played this and it was not skipping. So I don't know.
Before setting fire to his station wagon. Now footage has surfaced of Jakubowski mailing a thick.
Okay. So I'll play the video a little bit later. It's not really much. It's just showing him mailing off that big envelope to the White House. So it says, the Wisconsin man who sent his manifesto to the president early this month was taken into custody without incident early Friday in southwestern Wisconsin. 10 days after the authorities say he stole 18 weapons and mailed his manifesto threatening violence. And these are the people that the White House should be worried about. These crazy white supremacist terrorists that already feel like they have, that they're entitled to getting their way. And so when he feels like he should be getting something or things should be going a certain way, he's like, oh, I'll just take it into my own hands. I'll go steal 18 weapons and let me sing you what I feel like you need to hear. The Rock County Sheriff's Office said Joseph Jakubowski was arrested just before 6 a.m. on Friday in Vernon County, Wisconsin, about 125 miles northwest of Janesville, Wisconsin, after he was found camping on a farmer's property. The farmer filed a complaint saying a suspicious man matching the description of Jakubowski was camping at the location and refused to leave when he was asked to do so. See, the thing is, so he's entitled to everything. He's entitled to go camp on other people's land. He's entitled to 18 weapons. And they're not telling you what weapons, what guns he has. Okay, we need to realize the information they're not giving. Investigators assigned to the case were sent to the location along with tactical support to assist local authorities in determining whether the suspected individual was related to the manhunt, and the release said. Tactical officers made contact with the man at the campsite, and he was taken into custody without incident and previously identified as Joseph. I'm not going to say his last name because I cannot pronounce it. Our wanted fugitive. A nationwide search was launched this week for, what is his first name? Because that's what I'm going to call him. Let's just call him, Joseph. Okay. A nationwide manhunt was launched last week for Joseph, 23, who was suspected of stealing firearms from a Jonesville gun shop, including an automatic weapon, and threatening to use them in public offices and schools. That's what they do. They shoot up schools, they shoot up offices. They like to show you that black men are the criminals. But these people These are your terrorists right here. Okay, they threaten to shoot up schools, they shoot up churches, they do your drive-bys. These are the criminals. These are the terrorists that we need to watch out for. If they want to sit there and start those that stop and frisk, white men, middle-aged white men are who the government should be stopping on the street and frisking. The FBI ordered a $20,000 reward for information leading to Joseph's location. Investigators have said that Joseph mailed a 161-page manifesto to President Trump that contains extensive rambling screeds against the government and religions. While there is no specific target said, he does suggest he's willing to carry out violent acts. Officials said Joseph doesn't affiliate himself with any particular party in his manifesto. The thing is, if he was brown, he would already be ISIS. This would be ISIS. And you know what the thing is, what we need to realize is that if he does go set off a bomb and blow up a building or shoot up something, they're going to replace him with a brown person so fast and say that he's ISIS, and they're never going to really show you these majority of these white criminals, these white terrorists. They just don't show you them. An unnamed associate recorded Joseph mailing his manifesto on the afternoon of April 4th. A few hours later, Joseph broke into the Johnsonville weapons store, stole 18 guns, then set his car on fire, authorities said. 30 minutes after the burglary, a car fire was reported in the rural road about 3 miles north of the gun shop. Investigators determined it was Joseph's 2001 Dodge Durango. So I'm going to go up here and see if we can play the rest of this video. If not,
envelope to the White House. Authorities say it was a copy of his anti-government and anti-religion manifesto.
It's really a long laundry list of injustices that he believes the government and society and the upper class have put forward onto the rest of the citizens.
this is a hot mess.
Anybody that got this letter, you might want to read it. There it is. You see, it's getting
Okay, that's being a mess. I have another video, and hopefully this one will play. If not, then I'm not going to do any videos. Like, I'm just not going to play videos right now.
They say a number of guns were found with Jakubowski at his makeshift campsite. Authorities involved in the search held a briefing this afternoon, which gave more details into how Jakubowski was able to evade police. Tony Galley is live in Janesville. He kicks off our team coverage tonight. Tony.
Amber, authorities described Joseph Jakubowski as in ragged shape when, after a night of confirming his identity and getting nearly 70 law enforcement officers and their assets in place, they moved in. Now, 32-year-old Janesville man had been on the run for more than a week, the subject of a nationwide manhunt.
Notice how they referred to him as a man, not a terrorist, not a criminal, but he should be referred to as a terrorist, because that's what he is. And if anybody else of any race had broken into a gun shop, stole 18 weapons, and then sent a 161-page manifesto or threat, because that's what it was. He sent a 161-page threat to the president. They would be at Guantanamo Bay right now. They would be called a terrorist, but he's not being called a terrorist. There's no raid been done on his property, his homes. They're not raiding them. They're not parading him, showing you the next terrorist, which is what they should be doing. They're just calling him by his name. They're really, really playing this out as if it's not a big deal. This is what we should be worried about, and this is why I'm telling you the white supremacy is terrorism. White supremacy puts everybody at risk. So if you're not one of the bad white people, your life is being put at risk by them not treating every terrorist as such. Because if anybody else breaks into a gun shop and steals 18 guns, then writes a 161-page threat and send it to the president, seriously, are they not going to be in shackles? Every person that they know is going to be questioned. They're going to be called a terrorist. They're going to be like really treated as a threat on the United States. But this person sends a 160-page threat directly to the president. Then he goes and steals weapons of mass destruction. So he's telling you, here's my threat, President. Let me go get these weapons. And then, and let me show you something. I'm going to go back to this video, but let me just go down here really quick and read. It says local police have said Jakubowski's was not on their radar as somebody with the potential to carry out his ideological based violence. Though he was well known to authorities for other crimes, court records show Joseph had 3 serious run-ins with the police. But okay, I'm just I don't know if you guys are just like I'm going crazy at this part. He writes a 161-page threat, sends it to the president, and steals 18 guns, but the local police doesn't find him as a threat. He's not on our radar. No, he's not a threat. His white skin and male status makes him not a threat. Even though he's throwing up red flags, telling you I'm a threat, sending a 161-page threat. That's pretty in-depth. That is a pretty deep, in-depth. I don't think I've ever written a paper that was 161 pages, all the way through a bachelor's in college, and I don't think I've written a paper that long. And then he shows them by going and steal 18 guns, 18 weapons of mass destruction he has, and he sends you a letter saying, I'm going to do all this stuff. I'm going to shoot up schools. I'm going to shoot up offices. This is what's going to happen. And they still did not see him as a threat. But a black man sitting down having a sandwich is a threat to them. Okay, a disabled black man laying on the ground, they feel like their life is in danger and they need to kill this person. But this crazy terrorist white supremacist sends you a 161-page list telling you exactly what he's going to do. Just spreading it out for you. Then he goes and steals 18 guns, 18 weapons of mass destruction he takes and steals, sets his car on fire, and the local police, he's not on our radar as a potential threat. Are you kidding me? But people want to believe them when they say, oh, well, I felt my life was in danger, so I needed to kill this unarmed black man. But they show you that they took this very wellly armed white man. They knew for a fact that he had at least 18 weapons of mass destruction. They knew for sure that this man had that. They knew he was a terrorist. So, but their lives, they didn't feel like he was a danger at all. He was fine. They brought him in without looking. Let's look at this. Not a scratch on him. Not a scratch on him. This is disgusting. And this is what I tell you, white supremacy terrorism right here. This is a terrorist. But do they say anywhere on here, they do not describe him as a terrorist on anything. They don't mention terrorism, even though he talked about shooting up schools and shooting up office buildings and blowing up office buildings. He's still not a terrorist. Nowhere on here is he a terrorist. In fact, they say he wasn't on our list of dangerous suspects, even though he sent to our president a 160-page threat that he intend on bombing buildings, on shooting up buildings, but he's not a terrorist. We don't consider him a terrorist. Let's see if they mention him as a terrorist in this video.
At a Janesville news conference, a lead FBI agent and others declined to comment on whether they knew how Jakubowski traveled the 128 miles from his Janesville gun store burglary to rural Vernon County. But they say what they found as he was captured was both telling and incriminating.
He was found under a tarp. There were 4 handguns, 1 long gun, multiple boxes of ammunition.
But their lives weren't in danger. They didn't feel like their lives were in danger and that they needed to kill him. Like, if you guys can look at situations like this, and all those white people that are not evil, if you can look at a situation like this, you should be writing your president, you should be writing your government. And if you live in Wisconsin, you definitely should be writing your local government and asking him, what the hell? How are you allowing a terrorist to run around and run amok, and then you don't do anything about it? He's not dead. How is this happening? This is disgusting, people. Disgusting. Okay, because if they caught one terrorist and don't even call him a terrorist, they don't feel their lives aren't threatened. They didn't need to kill him. He doesn't have a scratch on his face. But he literally told them, I'm going to blow up buildings. I'm going to shoot up schools. I stole 18 guns. So you know that I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. I'm doing what I said I was going to do. They found him with loaded guns, tons of ammunition, hiding under a tarp, but they did not feel the need to kill him. They didn't feel their lives were in danger. I wonder how many unarmed black people they killed that day. Because if you're black standing outside, they feel like their lives are in danger. But you can be white and have weapons of mass destruction and send almost a 200-page threat letter to the president. But we don't feel like you're a danger to America. You're just what? This is America, huh? This is America. You can do whatever you want to. You can be a terrorist and you're not a threat. We're good. We'll just sit down. We don't even need to tell the public what exactly we found you with. We don't need to say exactly what weapons you had or what you were doing. We don't need to label you a terrorist, even though you are definitely the epitome of a terrorist. This is sick and disgusting. And I want all those non-bad white people to get up and say something.
1 samurai-like sword, a helmet and ballistic vest.
Look at his face. Like, dude, this dude's like smiling while he's listening. They think this is a joke. They think this is funny. White terrorism is funny. We smile about it while we're talking. This is what's putting our lives in danger. This is what's making our country unsafe. These white supremacist terrorists that just run amok and they're left to run amok. And then people like him who's supposed to be protecting you and keeping you safe, he's smiling about it. He thinks it's funny.
Containers of flammable liquids, and a copy of his manifesto.
I don't know about you guys, but I would really like to slap the smirk off this dude's face.
He looked disheveled. He appeared that he hadn't slept in some time. So, basically it was a very primitive area.
He makes it seem like, oh, he hasn't slept, and this poor dude, he was just out there for so long, hadn't slept. We needed to get him. They probably rushed him to a nice hotel, gave him a bath in a hot tub, and served him some filet mignon.
And we were fortunate that this individual, the landowner, was out and about and was able to find him.
Rock County Sheriff Robert Spoden confirms Jakubowski distributed 25 copies of his manifesto calling for revolution, some possibly to people out of state. But if Jakubowski intended to gain recruits to his anti-government crusade, Spoden says it backfired. And just minutes ago,
How did it, please tell me how it backfired. Because I love how these news anchors, these, what is this, 2 News, I don't know, is that Fox or CNN or who owns this news, but it's probably Fox. But he gets to just say dumb shit that has nothing, like, how did it fail? If he sent off 23 different letters to other white supremacist terrorists, how did that fail? They literally just said that when they found him, he had 3 guns. So I just wonder where the other 15 are. If nobody got that, please understand that they just said that he was found with 3 guns and a lot of ammo, but he stole 18. So I just wonder, like, So when we look at the news in the next couple of days, if we see some mass shootings, well, they won't put them on there. They won't even put them on news anymore because they're not even airing these white supremacist terrorist attacks. They're just brushing them sweeping them under the rug. You just don't hear about them anymore. But make no mistake about it, they're going on. They're just not showing you because it doesn't fit their narrative of black is bad and white is good. They really need to change the face of terrorism, but they won't do it. And their refusal to show you who the real criminals are is what's leaving us in jeopardy. This is what's leaving America unsafe. So if you fear if you have fear in your heart that something bad is going to happen, that there's going to be terrorist attack, there is right here from these people. This is the face of terrorism. And until we get that through our head and start doing something about the actual terrorists, we're never going to be safe. We're always going to be just waiting for the next mass shooting, the next building that's blown up. Because he's telling you that that's what I'm going to do. That's my plan. And they're saying, oh, we're not worried. We're not, just yesterday and I'm just saying, there's a mass shooting, but we're not worried. Yes, he stole the weapons to do what he's saying he's going to do, but we're still not worried. No, we're just going to play this one by ear. He stole 18 weapons, and we only have 3, but we'll just not talk about it. We'll just not mention the other 15, and hopefully you didn't catch the fact that we only found 3. This is disgusting and this is despicable, and everybody needs to be upset about this. If you are not a white supremacist terrorist, because I always get these notes saying not all white people are terrorists and not all of them are evil. Show me that you're not. You should be angry. You should be writing letters. There should be video after video saying, what are you doing, government? Why aren't you doing anything to protect us against these terrorists? What's going on? Like, I don't feel safe. Why aren't you stopping and frisking these crazy white men that are walking around with guns? Stop and frisk them. Make sure they're not terrorists. Make them prove that they're not going to shoot up a school. But we're not doing that. This is what you need to do, or else you don't care about your safety. You don't care about terrorist attacks because they're showing you time after time and incident after incident that these white supremacist terrorists are what you need to be afraid of. Right here. This domestic terrorism. Born and bred right here in America. This is what you need to be afraid of. When I'm in a mall, if I see a white dude with a trench coat, I'm getting out of that mall. I'm walking away. I'm good. It's any crazy looking wide-eyed white man, I'm gone. because those are your terrorists. We can show you incident after incident, picture after picture, and we're still not getting it through our heads. Because you have the people that are supposed to be protecting us from terrorist attacks saying that, knowing situations like this are going on, and saying we're not worried about this. We don't feel like this is something we need to look at. You know, this crazy white dude that just stole 18 guns and then sent a freaking book of threats to the president. But we don't feel like that. He's not on our radar. He's just, you know, just a regular white guy. And if that's so, then they need to start, this is who they need to start stopping and frisking and questioning and running their records, looking into people like him. If they look like him, you need to be suspicious.
Joseph Jakubowski was brought here to the Rock County Jail, where he is now in custody tonight at 6. His stepfather tells me there's relief and more with Joseph Jakubowski's capture. Reporting live from the Rock County Sheriff's Office, Tony Galley, 27 News.
I'm sure the next thing you'll hear is, he has a mental illness, because that's always the next thing. I can't on it. Like, this is ridiculous. And I just wonder, like, when are we going to wake up? When are we going to realize that our government is doing nothing to protect us? But instead, they're harassing and terrorizing Black people, just like that's their thing. White people break into gun shops, steal 18 guns, write book of threats, send to president, oh, we harass Black people. Come on now. I'm not even gonna, like, I'm over this. This is just, it's just too much. It's disgusting. And it's the same thing over and over and over. It's the same thing. I really want to see just like a huge outcry from the good white people in the communities that really want to do something to protect Americans. Okay, well, I want to see the good white people in the government that aren't racist, that aren't white supremacist terrorists, to do something about these people, these terrorists right here. The terrorists that are making us unsafe. Because it's not brown skin. It's not the Muslims. It's the white supremacist terrorists that get away with this too often. So now the next Joshua with the next plan to blow up a building or shoot up a school, he feels just that much more bolden, because he knows I'm not going to be caught. I'm not going to be called a criminal terrorist. I'm not. They're not going to do anything to me. This is ridiculous. I'm so over this. Let me know what you guys think about this story. I will leave the links in the description box if you guys want to watch this video, and there's a couple of more videos about this terrorist. Maybe you guys can find something else out about what happened to the other 15 weapons that he was not found with, because on neither of these stories did I hear them say that they found the other 15 weapons. They just kind of brushed it aside and say, oh, he was found with 3 even though he stole 18. So we really need to look at the stuff that they leave out in these stories when it comes to these to terrorists like him. They leave out so much stuff. They act like it's not that big of a deal. They won't call him a terrorist. Let me know what you guys think about that. Should we implement a system where we're focusing on the real terrorists? Should they be stopped and frisked? Anyways, thank you guys for watching my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, I did start a Patreon account, and I will put that in the description box for anyone that wants to support my channel, and everyone that has supported me supported me. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate everyone's generosity and support. And I will see you guys on the next video.